Hey there, hi there, ho there, it's Wispedia. Weapon crafting just debuted with the Witch Queen in Destiny 2. Came out about a month ago and some changes have already taken place. In addition, more changes are coming next season. But I wanted to talk about weapon crafting in Destiny 2, what it does well, where it comes up short, and some things I hope will happen and change soon. I don't want to just focus on the bad because this system does a lot of things very, very well. So tell me in the comments your favorite thing about weapon crafting, and sub to the channel and leave a like if you enjoy the video. Let's get started. The pros of weapon crafting. Honestly, the best thing about weapon crafting is that it exists in the first place. This system has been such a requested feature in Destiny 2 for such a long time that its existence is a long time coming. I know I've been enjoying it for a number of reasons, but I think my favorite thing is just figuring out what perk rolls I will put on a weapon once it's able to be crafted. I've never paid more attention to perk possibilities. Even being able to pick which barrel, stock, magazine, etc. is such a game changer. It's so great to be able to look into a weapon and know that I can create my perfect version of it. I love that. I also love that the system itself isn't overly convoluted. Compare crafting to transmog, and it's wild how this system ended up being so simple. I know all of the separate materials are sort of an issue, and more on that later, but it is fairly straightforward. You get the weapons, use them, and unlock more materials for crafting. It's great, especially for folks who want to maximize their time playing Destiny 2. It's really easy to use the red weapons, that's our slang for deep sight weapons by the way, in whatever activities you want. I like being given another reason to try out different weapons, load into strikes or battlegrounds, and get to playing. It's another long-term pursuit that constantly provides a sense of progression. There's always a way to keep progressing towards your perfectly crafted role. Which rules? Speaking of roles, I like that the system doesn't completely make random rolls obsolete. It's still worth it to get multiple copies of each weapon to drop. It's nice to keep getting more so you can get a chance at red weapons for crafting. It's great. And you can try out a few different perk combinations to find out what you're really eventually going to craft once you finally get enough of the weapon that you want. And then even when you have the weapon finally crafted, you can keep using it to rack up eliminations, levels, and experience on those weapons. Once you've leveled enough, the enhanced perks are certainly potent options on the weapons. Most provide some fairly noticeable improvements like perks that last longer and activate more consistently. There are some that work really well. I'm enjoying the system for sure. Overall, it's great to be able to push toward that perfect weapon. But even though weapon crafting has been enjoying a great implementation, it's not quite perfect. The cons of weapon crafting. Okay, while I'm enjoying weapon crafting a lot, I do have a few small gripes with the system in its current incarnation. And there are some issues I could see being fairly large problems for this system overall. My first problem is that the amount of weapons that are craftable overall is fairly limited. There are a few weapons that were added with the Witch Queen that I would love to craft that are not craftable yet. It's a good system, it's nice to be able to build these weapons and put any perks on them I want, but I wish I could craft pretty much every weapon in the game. That includes trials weapons, nightfall weapons, everything. I know that would make random rolls less and less important, but this system itself isn't really a replacement for weapon rolls in the first place, which is sort of another issue I have, despite what I said before. I wish that there were a more concrete way to get red weapons to drop. I've been grinding a bunch of PsyOps to get the Peace of Mind pulse rifle, and I finally got 2 reds to drop. I need 3 more, and it's all based on RNG whether or not you get the weapon you want, which never feels good. I have the perk unlocked with the war table and the helm that allows the first weapon decrypted to drop as a red each week, but I don't want to have to wait 3 more weeks just to get the drop I want. It's frustrating, and that's before even considering the Wellspring weapons. I wish we had more agency over red drops. Something like a multiplier that makes red weapons more likely to drop if you stay in the PsyOps playlist would be cool. Master activities being more likely to drop red weapons would also be nice. I know that this system is meant to provide a long-term pursuit, but it would be really nice if we could get the weapons we want to craft a little bit easier. Just a little bit. If there were more weapons available to craft, we also wouldn't be freaking out about this quite as much, I think. It would feel more like a large checklist of things to casually move towards as opposed to a small grouping of weapons that we feel like we need to craft this week. I mean, either way, Destiny players are gonna be Destiny players. They'll grind through the content too quickly, then complain there isn't enough, but I digress. I was frustrated by the caps on the crafting materials, but that has been addressed. GG's, Bungie. Also was frustrated by the variety of different materials needed. Also will be addressed next season. GG's again. On the note of the materials, I wish that we had a way to see them in our inventory. A separate subsection of the inventory that shows our materials would be really, really nice. That will be less important later once the other materials are removed, but something in the materials tab that shows the crafting materials we have would be great. Maybe underneath Glimmer, something like that. Just show me how much neutral element I've got. I just want to know what I can afford at any given moment. So that way I know how many more red weapons I need to finish filling out before flying to Mars to craft a new one. My last gripe with crafting is that I wish it were less expensive to try different perks, especially enhanced perks. I wish perks were more like unlocks than having to pay the Ascendant Alloy every time you want to try a different enhanced perk. This system has introduced a lot of experimenting and theory crafting for different weapons, and I wish it weren't quite so expensive to try different things out. I believe this is going to be addressed eventually. I have to guess it will be, but I want the perks to just be unlocked. I know it's a minor gripe about a great system, I know, but I want to try out different enhanced perk combos. I want to try different setups to find exactly the weapon that works for me. Needing to have a surplus of Ascendant Alloy to do this is frustrating, especially towards the beginning of a DLC release. I don't know that this part will ever change, but I hope it does. I don't want to sound like I'm not grateful for the system. It does a lot of things really well, and I'm overall very happy that it is in the game. I think some minor tweaks and adjustments will really make weapon crafting into a truly game-changing system and experience, and I think that Bungie will absolutely be taking steps towards that. More weapon variety, lower costs, more experimentation, and other changes will create an amazing experience, and I'm excited to see the pursuit that weapon crafting will become. Hey! Thanks for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. My name's Wispapedia. You can call me Wisp. Tell me in the comments your personal feelings on weapon crafting, and do the usual YouTube things, like and sub. Follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Wispapedia, and check out the Dojo Discord. Dojo is a wonderful community full of friends who play Destiny and a bunch of other games. I love it there, and I think you will too. If you've ever looked for people to play Destiny with, it's really a great place to check out. Thank you again so much for watching. Make sure you drink your water, get good sleep, and take care of yourselves. And I'll catch you next time.